Hey,
said,
how are you?
how you been?
I'm doing good. I'm so happy we are able to do this. I
It has
know.
been, so we last saw each other in '09.
Mm, yes, maybe. Yeah, I think you're right. Last time I went to LA was like 2013, but I don't think I saw anyone besides Gabby.
Okay.
So yeah, I think it was 2009. Yeah, maybe 2010, around
Wow.
there. I know, it's been so
Oh,
long.
¿cómo pasa el tiempo, huh? Time flies.
¿Verdad?
Yeah, big
Yes,
time.
time flies.
Well, it's good to see you. I want to thank you for coming on board today. I love seeing you do your thing. And obviously, we have a lot of questions for you about how you got to Europe today, okay? I'm so
I'm
stoked.
so excited. Yeah, I'm so excited to talk about my journey.
You got a lot of stories, I bet. So I'm ready to hear them. Some crazy ass stories. Okay, no, I'm kidding. No, no, no. I don't want.
Yeah, but honestly, they are pretty crazy. Good crazy, but they are pretty crazy.
Good crazy. Okay,
Yes, it's good crazy.
I'm
Yes.
gonna ask you some questions, so you got to let me know if it's too much. All right. So
Okay, I will
I
let
went.
you know.
I'm going way off topic, but I went to Barcelona in 2016 para completar mi sueño, to complete my dream, to go see a clásico. At the time, Neymar, Cristiano, of course, Luis Suarez, Messi were there, and it was one of the best experiences in Europe. It's a whole different vibe. So I was only there for 9 days and change. If I was there, I'm sure you got it's otro mundo. It's another world. So I'm
Yeah,
excited to hear
yeah.
about it. Cool. So when I usually start this, I like to, have you give a quick elevator pitch introduction as to who you are. I'm sure it's longer. I'm sure it has a lot of floors, right? But please let everybody know.
Okay, I will try to do this in 2 minutes, but I think it might be a little longer than that because I usually talk a lot. But okay, so my name is Adriana. I'm originally from Costa Rica, but I moved to United States when I was 8 years old. We first moved to Chicago, then we moved to Miami, and then I moved to LA. That's where I met you. I think maybe 18 years ago, or maybe 17 years ago. So it was a long time ago.
Yes.
And yes, I graduated from Culver High. Then I went to CSUN for a semester. Then my mom decided that it was time to head home, to go back home. So we went back to Costa Rica. And of course, when I went back, I started to get to know my culture better, to meet my family because I left so little. There was so many people that I, didn't really get to meet or really to hang out with them. And then, well, of course, I finished school back home, and I started businesses because that's what I have like the hunch for. So I started a retail shops, and I also did real estate. I had a real estate company.
A
I
real
still
estate.
do. Yes,
What?
real estate.
Allá in
Yeah,
Costa Rica or in Europe?
in Costa Rica.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah, I still have that. And then after many, like maybe 10 years, no less, I'm sorry. Yeah, way less, like 7 years of being in Costa Rica, I decided it was like time for a change. And a good friend of mine, my best friend from school, you know her, um, she called me one day and she told me, I just found out there's like a good opportunity to move to Europe, teach English, and you can travel at the same time. And I'm like, where do I have to sign? Definitely, I'm going. So it was, of course, it was harder than that to make the decision. It took me a couple of days. I talked to my mom, and she told me, why not? Like, you have nothing to lose. If it doesn't go well, you can just come back to Costa Rica. Like, things are still gonna be here. I keep in mind that I had businesses back at home, right? I had right in that moment we had a gown shop, so like like wedding dresses and party dresses store.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
so making the decision of leaving that behind, it was pretty tough. But my mom persuaded me and she convinced me that that I had to. do something fun. And I was like, you know what? Yes, let's do it. So I moved to Prague in 2018, November 2018,
Okay.
and I have been here since. So it has been amazing, and I love it.
Yeah, I bet that was 1 minute 35 seconds. By the way, no,
I did it. No, I think it was way longer than
you
that, but
beating records.
okay.
No, you got an extensive background. That's why.
Yeah.
When I met you, I knew you had just moved in. Everything was moving fast. The ball was rolling quick. You got introduced to the whole fam at Culver High. A lot of fun experiences, right? I never got the real opportunity to like to dig deeper, right? And then afterwards, everything just finished up, right? We all went our different ways, and we kept in touch through MySpace,
Yes.
Facebook, and Instagram. I'm gonna make sure to edit out MySpace because I don't want anybody to know how old I am. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, you're telling how old I am too. We went to high school together, you know? You're not supposed to tell how old the lady is.
Nah, never, never. You look great, by the way. I've been meaning to tell you
Thank
that.
you.
You look
You
very
do
great.
too. Thank
Thank
you.
you. I'm trying. I'm trying. I
Yes,
appreciate
yes.
that. No, but
Let's keep up.
yeah, the body's a interesting thing.
It
Keeping
is.
in
Yes.
shape and enjoying life, those are two different things. So yeah.
No, it could be one. You can make it work.
It could be one, but when I was playing soccer, it was much easier. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, well, these times are weird times, and it's really hard to like work out at home or just to do something for yourself. It's harder than before, definitely.
I
It
bet.
was
I bet.
easier before. Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna make sure to ask you about your experience with COVID in Europe. I'm sure having Italy one of the highest numbers and all that. I'm sure it's a different take for you, right? But I want to get back to um, what happened after high school. How was that for you to go to college? What were you studying again, if you don't mind me asking?
So I started first with communications, and but I decided to change my major when I went back home, when I started school at home. So at the end, I graduated from marketing and from advertising. So
Marketing
I
and
did like major minor type of thing. It's not the same. It works differently in Costa Rica, but
mm,
we can kind of compare it to that. So marketing and advertisement. Yeah.
gotcha. How was that? Just moving from your first step towards college slash what people call your first step to your career, right? To just pressing reset. Costa Rica is a beautiful country, but just you've been moving around. Now you're back. So how was that whole moving process as a whole?
You know what? It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy because my friends were back in LA. I really missed them. And you're in that age that like meeting friends, it's already hard because most people make friends in like high school or in even in school.
Mm,
So, like when the people that I met in like, college, they already had their own group of friends. So it was a bit hard. I mean, that beginning, but it took me like what, a year or 2 years to actually fit in and say, okay, yeah, I belong here. And because it was a weird feeling, like, okay, I was born in this country, but I have lived my whole life in the United States. So it's like, where do I belong, type of
mm.
thing. So it was pretty hard. Yeah, it was pretty hard
The
at the beginning.
identity, right? The
Yeah.
Finding your identity in a country that you might not recognize that much because so much has changed, right? So I feel you. I respect that a lot because it takes a lot for someone to figure it out and press reset and figure it out and press reset and figure it out and then press reset and figure it out in a whole different continent. That's just
Yeah.
that's what
I think
fascinates.
you have to be, yeah, very adaptable, just very adaptable, open to change. Like you never know when you're going to have a new experience that you're going to have to be open to, and you just have to go for it. I think that's the point. You just have to go for it, and who cares? And if like I will never forget like my mom's words, like if something goes bad, you can always come back. Like like Costa Rica's still gonna be there, like LA is still gonna be there. I could go back whenever I want to.
Yeah.
So that should never stop anyone.
So you answered my question with Costa Rica and college out there. You became a businesswoman, a boss lady out there, right? And you started your retail. Congratulations on that. Is it still open right now, or?
So we still have the gown shop. Yeah, of course, COVID didn't help too much, but now it's doing good. I think it's doing good compared to, how it was last year. So I'm very like excited to see it, like to that it keeps growing. We just actually rented a new spot and things are going great. My mom actually manages the store completely. But I cheer her from here,
Mhm.
because I have a new business that I haven't told you about. So yes, so there's one more here. There's one more. My baby, like my baby, and the reason why I have to work like 18, 17 hours a day. So yeah, there's something else here. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm sure we're all gonna be shocked, and I can't wait for all my homies back here in LA to see this video so that they can see that.
I
But
know.
no, congratulations. Most importantly, the reason why I ask is because people tend to change careers, and it's been noted that in college you change your career up to 3 times. Not everybody, but it's a common thing. 3 times is a far fetched number to me because a lot of people want to just zoom right through it and just move on with life, And for some people, it works out. For other people, excuse me, it's different. They end up saying, "Okay, I don't want this," right? I spent too much time. So I congratulate you doing that. Retail business, real estate, just keeping your feet wet. What did you want to learn, and or what did you want to do before we jump into travel and switching it up, right? When you were at CSUN, and this goes for students right now who are trying to figure out what their career path is. That's a common question even after college, right? What were your aspirations right there in CSUN?
Honestly, my mom was working on like the TV industry. So I was thinking that I wanted to do that as well. But I think it was more because I saw my mom and I was like so proud of her and it was so cool, the whole, production world and, TV. And so I kind of wanted like to join that world, but I never did. And I mean, I've always liked it. I still like it. And I think it's pretty cool. Yeah, that's what I wanted to do. And then my whole life changed completely and I did something else. Yeah.
You would have been great. I could see you on the TV. Your mom as
You
well.
think
That
so?
Yeah, yeah, I know so. Come on now, don't sell yourself short. You
Okay, well
you
maybe
always got that
it's not
energy.
too late to try it. It's not too late to try it. Yeah. Yeah,
No,
it's
you
cool.
you're doing great, and I really do admire you for switching it up completely. So this brings me to my next topic, right? You mentioned that Gabby, our friend, decided to be, and she's like that. I love her energy. She's all over the place, right? She decided to do
Yeah.
this. What were like some setbacks, some things that you kind of debated on as to whether it was going to be worth it? You just press reset. You went to Costa Rica, now you're going to do it again, is what I mentioned. So what were some setbacks, some doubts, if you will, and what led you to actually do it?
I mean, of course, I was scared. I was scared to take the leap, to take the step. I
Yeah.
was scared about the whole like immigration and visa process. I was scared to be like on the other side of the world because, if I just my at this time my sisters lived in United States, so they were pretty far. But I mean, it was for me it meant to go like even farther. So I was a little worried about leaving my mom alone and my family, and I was scared in general, but I was so excited that those fears didn't really matter. It was like, you know what, who cares, like let's do this, let's try. And of course Gabby pushed me a lot. Like she was, Gabby, her energy, and she's so positive and she's so active that you can't say no to Gabby. It's not possible. So yeah, that's why I was like, yeah, we have to do this.
She has good
Yeah,
vibes.
definitely.
Did
Yeah.
Gabby have everything figured out, like a place to stay, the setup, like what type of expenses, or she was just spontaneous, like we're gonna go.
Yes,
Oh my
exactly. It was more
God.
like we're gonna go. Of course, we made the decision. I think she made it first than me, and then afterwards, it was still gonna like we still had 6 months to plan
Hmm.
because the decision was made maybe like in February or March, and we were leaving until November, so we had time. So around that time that we were leaving, we had a lot of things to plan, like housing situation. And we were going to first to get certified to teach English. So we did a TOEFL certificate. That's what we did first.
A what?
Uh, a TOEFL certificate is like a certificate to teach English as a second language.
Mm.
So we were going first to do that program. So anyone that is thinking of traveling or is thinking of living to like moving to Europe, I will suggest doing a TOEFL, getting a TOEFL certificate because you can teach English and it's fun and it makes you like it gives you like the opportunity to travel. Now there's a lot of like remote opportunities that you can work from home and you can travel. So that's another thing that English brought to my life, like teaching English, that it's just your laptop and you're ready to go and you can work from anywhere. So we were going to do that certificate first, so we had like 1 month housing with the program. So we had the first month cover, but we had to figure out everything else, like visa process, like every all the requirements, because there's a lot of things that you have to get done, a lot of paperwork that you need before moving to a country like that. They ask for special like requirements and stuff like that. So that part took a while to figure out, but um, but I think we were pretty organized. Like we had timelines. We made like a whole like Excel chart. I remember like we had to get this done. We had to get even like doctor and insurance stuff that when you grow up you have to think about this stuff, like
Mhm.
like you're not a kid anymore. Like what happens if something happens to you? We
Yeah.
needed travel insurance and things like that. Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, but I think we're pretty organized. We got everything like set and ready to go a month before. Yeah, we
Shoot.
did good. We did good.
It looks like you guys did good. Online, it looks like you guys. It was a smooth transition. It was a very smooth transition, and I'm so happy for again for both of y'all. Gabby just it was her birthday the other day, right? I just noticed.
Yes,
Oh my God.
it was like 3 days ago. Yeah,
What
it
did
was
you
her
guys do?
birthday. Well, now COVID times, we just get to spend it at. We just spend with some close friends at her house, but nothing major. COVID is like we are in a really big lockdown here now.
I was gonna ask you what has COVID been like since it hit in Europe specifically, right? And Czech Republic, right? And how has it affected everything, the economy and the way of life in the Czech Republic?
I honestly, coming from like, my opinion, I think that here they are very extreme and they are like we are in extreme lockdown right now. And some people follow it, some people don't follow it. We do have a lot of cases. I mean, we have like around 10,000 to 15,000 cases per day, but we are a pretty small country. Like Czech Republic is pretty small. It's like a 10 million population. So it's pretty small to have that many cases per day. So we're doing pretty bad, honestly. But I mean, yeah, cases are going down. So hopefully soon we'll be out of this and things will go back to normal. But right now, I'm just grateful that I could work from home, that I don't have to leave my house, that, like I said, like with my laptop, I could just work from anywhere. So I'm really grateful for that. And that everyone around me at least is healthy.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you that next. If you've seen anybody or heard of anybody that got affected, but luckily, you guys haven't been affected. I could only imagine because I'm not saying that if you're next to Italy that you run the risk, but that was one of the highest countries that got affected, and it was all over the news here in the States. People were talking
Yeah.
about it left and right. So that
And how
that
is
is
LA doing with the cases?
how's what?
How's LA doing with cases and with COVID?
So it's dropped significantly. I was very fortunate to leave California a couple of times for trips and for work. I coach on the side. California has very strict rules, and I'm sure you heard of it already. We have a curfew. Well, right now things are changing rapidly, but while other states had open dine in and stuff like that, or dine out, excuse me, and more things to do, California was more shut down. So my heart goes out to all the mom and pop shops and the small companies that got affected because you could see it when you drive down the streets now. The retail shops, there's some retail shops that you grew up seeing, and today
Mm.
you see a new product, a new company.
Oh,
So
that feels horrible. Yeah.
that's my heart goes out to all the business people because I highly favor you doing what you love to do, but then that big question mark comes, right? How secure is it? What will happen if I hit a bump on the road? And no one predicted this. No one predicted
No,
something this severe. So
no.
yeah, it's changing a lot. Luckily, we're allowed to do more things now, and it feels very good because it's not healthy for the mind. You gotta be out and about. But in work, it's changed a lot. I had a couple of jobs and COVID made it change, but yeah, it's different.
Yeah, I mean, well, I'm glad to hear that things are doing better and that the cases are going down because it's doing pretty bad here, honestly. And I'm just hoping that I'm hoping that it will do better soon, but right now it's doing pretty bad.
Sending good vibes. My next question is: now that you talked about travel and everything, prior to that, you were traveling to countries in Europe, right? What has been some good experiences, and which places would you recommend for Javi once everything
Okay.
opens up?
Well, I have always loved to travel. I don't know if you remember this, but in high school, my mom took us around the world, literally, for 3 months. I don't know if you
No,
remember, I was gone 3 months in high school.
wow, it's been so long. Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
I'm sure you don't remember, but yeah, it was a long time ago. It was in 2005. My
Got
mom took us to go like we went to 35 different countries around the world in 3 months.
what?
So yes, yes. So it was pretty crazy. Yeah. So since that trip, I've always wanted to travel more. Like it just opened my eyes to like and I realized, like there's like so many countries to go to.
Hmm.
And right now I feel like, I have gone to a lot, but there's still so many that I haven't seen and I feel like I don't have enough time. Like yeah, I just want to go and, and keep traveling because it's so nice. And since I moved here in 2018, 2019 was the best year of my life because we got to travel so much. Like, and it's so cheap to travel here. Like, and when I say we got to travel, we were staying in hostels, going by bus, by train, by airplane, whatever was the cheapest, with a backpack, um,
Yes.
nothing fancy, just one jeans, two shirts, and you're ready to go. And yeah, so just with a backpack, we didn't even have suitcases. Like, and we were going like 4 days here, 4 days there, and we got to see a lot of places. In 2019, I went to like 11 countries. So it was so nice, and it's so
Wow.
cheap because when you travel from, like, for example, Los Angeles, Las Vegas,
Yeah.
how much do you pay? How much is an air ticket?
It depends on the time of the year, but we're looking at about for a round trip, of course, right? There and
Yeah, round
back.
trip.
Yeah, about a
Uh-huh.
hundred plus, and if there's a
Okay.
big event, of course it goes up, right? So
It
there's
goes
always
up.
hmm
Well, the I got tickets for like $40 to go from Prague to to a city in Italy or a city in Spain.
Wow.
Or it's crazy. I couldn't believe it. It's so cheap. Like I think the cheapest ticket I paid was $40 going from here to Milan in Italy, and round trip, right? Like
Yeah.
so yeah, with those prices, and then you can find a lot of hostels that are pretty cheap as well. Like
Yeah.
you can pay, like it depends, right? It depends what kind of accommodation you want, but we just wanted to travel and explore, so we didn't care where we stayed or with who, because we have some pretty funny stories of like ending up in a room with, like, a mixed room and waking up to 17 strangers next to you, right? So we did that as well. And when I say we, is because Gabby went to most of these trips.
I was gonna ask
um
who's we.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
yeah, it's me and Gabby. Yeah, so I think this was in Copenhagen that we ended up like choose, because Copenhagen is a very expensive city, right?
Mm.
It's in Denmark, and to give you an idea, a coffee and a bagel is $20 there. So it's, I mean, I know LA is
Whoa.
expensive,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I think Copenhagen is more expensive than LA.
Wow.
So yeah, so we had to choose really cheap accommodation in Copenhagen. So we chose a hotel that it was like sharing with like 18 other people, like a room. So but we made it work, and
It's all that
yeah,
matters at the end of
honestly.
the day. You ask yourself a couple of questions. The main one is people tend to make a mistake and say, I want the best hotel. Well, are you going for the hotel or are you going to go experience a trip? Right? Are
Exactly.
you gonna go sightseeing? Because I promise you that you're only gonna go for a couple of hours to rest your head. And you're gonna want to get up, right? You're gonna want to get up and keep traveling, keep adventure, keep that adventure alive, right? And
Mhm.
I learned that in Barcelona. I was in a hostel. So I love that because you get to meet different people
Yes,
eh, from all parts of the world. You know, it was a
I
crazy.
love hostels.
I love them too. I love them too. And you know what? I think here in the
Yeah.
States it has a different image. And I think people
Hmm.
kind of confuse them as like places with homeless people or drug dealing, right? All that negativity, right? Like a abandoned motel, if you will. No, these places are, well, in Europe, of course, they're A1. They're clean. They are
Oh
well
yeah.
maintained and they have a good vibe of a bunch of young spirited people, so
Yeah, it's a lot of solo travelers. So most of them are solo travelers. Or I mean, sometimes you do meet some groups, but I had a very fun experience once that I stayed in Vienna. In this trip, I traveled. I was staying one night by myself,
mm,
and I was in one hotel, like one hostel room, with a girl from Japan, a girl from Chile, and a girl from Russia, and me from Costa Rica. So we bonded so well, and but it was like we were so different. We were so
I
different,
bet.
because it was like like it was, especially the Japanese girl and the Russian girl, like they had a complete vibe going on, and they had like, and I got to learn so much about their culture just
Mm,
one night. And we just sat down, like it was raining, so we didn't go out, and we sat down and we just talked about life. And I will never get a chance to meet someone like that just walking in the street. Like you have to stay in a hostel to do that. It's the only way.
mm-hmm.
So if you want to really get to know different cultures, travel cheap, hostel is the way to go. Like it's,
It's
you have to be a little open minded, right? That you're
yeah.
spending the night with strangers, and then maybe someone's going to snore or maybe you're going to snore, but it's okay. But yeah, it was a lot of fun, honestly.
I
So
bet.
it was,
I'm
yeah.
having 1,000 memories from my short trip. 1,000 memories right now of like countries that speak the same language, and they come like Canadians in Belgium, right? Come and they start listening to each other speak, and they look at each other weird, and you get to experience like you guys are figuring each other out, you know. But there's a lot of experiences that I love to tell you at another time because this is about you, okay, AJ? My next question, right? It leads me to this. I need to know what are some of your craziest experiences from travel, and most importantly, just your experience in living in the Czech Republic. You know, it's a recognized state in Europe, but when people say Europe, what do we think? We think maybe Italy, right? France, we think Spain, right? We think England, right? Those are like, but people don't know that Eastern Europe is beautiful and rich in culture, right?
Mhm.
So please let me know.
Well, honestly, yeah, that's true because like Czech Republic, it's a country that people might not even know where it is.
Mm,
Like because it's in the center of Europe, so it gives you the opportunity to travel to many places. But there's a couple of people that I have told them, "Oh, I live in Czech Republic," and they're like, "Where is that at?" Like they don't know where to put it in the map, and I don't blame them because it's not so common as Paris or as like Italy or like or even UK.
England, yeah,
Yeah, it's not
yeah.
so common. So I understand. But actually, Prague is one of the most beautiful cities in Europe, and it's one of the cities that is most visited after Paris. And we those are things that people don't know.
Wow.
Prague is beautiful. Like the architecture here is amazing, and Prague is one of the like cheapest cities in Europe. That's another reason why we chose Prague because it's not so expensive compared to Paris or compared to maybe Milan or even London.
Mhm.
Those are a little bit more pricey. But here it's pretty cheap. Like to give you an idea, you can go out and eat to a okay nice restaurant for maybe $10. So it's pretty cheap. Um,
Mhm.
and rent wise is also cheap compared to LA, right? Now I'm comparing it to LA. LA it's expensive, so if you compare it to LA, it's
What's
pretty
the
cheap.
average price of rent? Average
Um,
price.
maybe $1,000 for two bedrooms
And where
around that
in
price in the
where?
city center, right?
Oh my God. So where all the action is taking place. Oh
Yeah,
my
in the
God.
city center, you can get a two bedroom for $1,000. Yeah, that's like, and now it's even cheaper because of COVID, right? So prices have gone down, definitely. Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's pretty cheap. It's a pretty cheap country,
Don't
and
don't get me started with the prices over here. Do not get me
yeah,
started.
I
LA
could imagine.
is still beautiful, but the day you come, when was the last time you came back? Because I'm gonna say the day you come back and see it, it's changing and changing and changing every day. There's
Yeah,
more.
I was actually there before moving here because I went to pick Gabby up. So
Ah, okay. That
yeah,
makes sense. She
so
stays out here, of course. Yeah.
yeah, so I was there in 2018, November 2018. Yeah,
Gotcha.
we stay there for 1 week, finishing all like last details, and we came together to Prague. So
So
I was there 2018.
so
And
from
what I noticed that has changed the most is traffic. Traffic is insane.
it's una locura. You have no idea.
Yes,
It is people are moving out. People are moving out to the outside part of LA. You know, I grew up in and we've experienced West LA living, but people are just going out because it's starting to become it doesn't make sense to most people. Yeah,
yes,
it's changed. It's still beautiful, but at times it's changed. The people are different, you know, so you just got to keep moving with it. But that's amazing about Prague. I know Prague is a recognized city. To go back
yeah,
to
it's
what you were
beautiful.
saying, it's a very recognized. I did not know that it was the second, because when one thinks, I think of Milan, like you said, or the Vatican, or I love Barcelona, of course, or Madrid, or
Yes,
London, or everybody has the image of Paris and the Romance city, right? So I'm not surprised that Prague is the one of the most recognized, but I didn't know it was second. That's pretty cool.
yeah, Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah, it's a wonderful city. I mean, honestly, everywhere I go in Europe, I'm like, this is my favorite city, and then I go to another one, I'm like, no, this is my favorite city. It's so hard to pick.
So
It's like
what if you had to choose
impossible.
three top cities? I'll
Okay,
give
well,
you
I
five
love.
because I bet you have
Yeah,
more
it's kind of hard.
of them.
Honestly, I loved Copenhagen. I
Copenhagen, okay.
It's really expensive, but if you go there during the summer, it's great. The vibe and the people are really nice. Of course, I have to add Prague to the list of five cities, and Budapest is also an amazing place. It's really nice. It has
Budapest.
a really nice vibe. Yeah, Budapest is also nice.
Mhm.
Paris, I just love like looking at the Eiffel Tower. So like Paris is also great. And Spain has like, I mean, it's so hard to choose five because if I'm missing all Italy and all Spain, and they have like really nice cities. Like I was in Verona 2 years ago, and it's a city that I would never picked to visit because normally when you think of Italy, you think of Rome or you think of Florence, and I chose Verona, and it's like so magical, and it's the city of Romeo and Juliet, so
Ah,
very romantic.
of course.
Yeah, yeah. And then Spain has like so many, like I love Barcelona, I love Madrid. Even I was able to go to Cordoba 2 years ago too, um,
Wow.
and it's like a magical city as well. So I think I gave you like 10 cities.
No, no, no. Keep going. Where's Cordoba, by the way?
Cordoba is the south part of Spain, so it's in
At
the
the-
south.
It's at the very tip, like at the where it meets the Med Sea, the Mediterranean Sea.
Yes. So it's like it's 2 hours away from Malaga. Yes, so it's 2 hours away from Malaga. That's where Cordoba
I'm over here looking it up. Let's see. Because no,
is.
no, no, no. So I'm a huge fan of The Alchemist, right?
Okay.
Paulo Coelho. Have you
Uh-huh.
I'm sure you've heard of
Yes, of
it.
course. Yes.
Then there was a small town or city where the boy grew up. Yeah, so
I don't remember which one it was.
I think I'm looking at it right now, and it says not the book, but I'm just saying that like, the last city is called Tarifa. So I'm assuming that
Tarifa.
it's from there.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just getting memories. That was a
Okay.
great book.
Okay.
Great book, man. I'm fascinated. I had to read it in Portuguese in his language to see how it was like. So phenomenal book right there.
Wow.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you understood it?
Yeah, so surprisingly, you speak three languages, right? You speak Spanish, English. You don't.
Yes, Spanish, English, but that's it, not three languages.
Czech? No? What language is it? No.
Yeah, they speak Czech. I mean, but I don't speak Czech. No. Czech is a very hard language, Javi. It's so hard. Don't don't judge me for that. I
No,
mean,
no
of course,
judgment.
I could like ask for things in a restaurant or at a store. Like I know certain phrases,
Okay.
but I mean, I have never really thought about like learning it officially because I was only gonna be here for a few months, and then it turned into a little longer.
Mm,
But it's a language that you can only use here. So for me, if I'm gonna learn a third language, I think Portuguese will be a better idea, or Italian, or even French. But like learning Czech, it's one of the most difficult languages like in the world. I think that one, and like maybe like even Russian is like in the list of
so
the hardest languages.
let's get
So
started with Russian. Yeah, I tried. It's a hard language. So if Czech is that hard, then I don't blame you at all. I do not blame you at
yeah,
all.
it's
The
it's
only
so hard.
inspiration that I get is you're gonna laugh at me when I meet someone who's from that country, right? And I want to impress her, so I want to go ahead and dive deeper and deeper and deeper. So that's my inspiration right there. But with Portuguese, it took me less than a year. Now I can't tell you that I'm the best speaker, but easily understand it, and I could read it as well. But it's been a while. It's been a while since I've practiced it. Yeah.
I'm so jealous. I want to learn Portuguese. I was gonna do it during COVID times, but then I opened a business, so I was very busy, so I couldn't do it. But yes, I definitely want to learn Portuguese.
I will
That's
be happy to give you the apps. Once it's Babbel and Duolingo. I'm sure you heard Duolingo, but
yes, of
Babbel
course.
helped me a lot, and then YouTube. It's amazing how YouTube, like, you could just, after listening it over and over and over, you start picking it up. You start
Yeah,
picking it up
it's
right away.
true.
It's very
Yeah.
similar to Spanish. So
It's very similar, yeah. I mean, I have heard some people that it could get a little confusing. I actually have a friend that's from Brazil.
okay.
So she speaks Portuguese. She speaks to me. She lives here, so she speaks to me in Portuguese, and I speak to her in Spanish, and we understand each other.
Wow.
So
I'm
yeah,
telling you.
so I could understand it. I could understand it. I mean, I understand the sense.
Mhm.
Sometimes, of course, I'm like, what did she say? Or they are words that are like they have a different meaning that we have in Spanish.
Yes.
Sometimes it's a little hard, but most of the cases I can understand what she's saying. So it's
Uh,
pretty cool.
I bet it's only
Pretty
when they
cool.
start speaking fast that's when you start losing them. That's they, especially like in Rio, countries like that, they speak so fast.
Oh yeah.
It's almost like listening to like Colombian Spanish. There's some people that are like, oh, hold up.
Slow down. Yeah,
Slow
yeah.
your
I
roll.
understand what you're saying. Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
so
yeah. I understand.
the big question, you had some great news, some shocking news. Let me get the drum roll.
Well, thank you. Well, as you know, I became a teacher here and I fell in love with it. But I've always loved opening businesses, starting projects. So I had that like entrepreneur spirit.
Yeah.
And I decided during COVID times that why not putting two and two together and start an online language school to teach Spanish and to teach English as well.
Yes.
So they're called Craving English and Craving Spanish. So it was 8 months ago. It was last June or July of last year that I started working on the projects.
Yes.
And now we have more than 12 teachers. There's more
Wow.
than 12 teachers, more than 100 and yeah, more than 170 students.
Oh my
And
God. From
it's
all
been
parts of the world,
amazing.
I imagine, you know?
Oh, yeah, but our main focus are people that speak Spanish
Hmm.
that want to improve English. So that's our main focus. Or people that live in United States, or I mean, craving Spanish is for everyone. Everyone that wants to improve or learn Spanish.
Hmm.
So yeah, I mean, we have students from everywhere, honestly.
Wow.
But yeah, so I started this journey.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Look
Yeah,
at
I'm
that.
very excited.
I was doing a little bit of stalking on your profile, and then I noticed I'm all like, this kind of looks like her company. But how am I gonna ask her this, And because I know you're a teacher, so I'm all like, is this the company she's with? Because it said San Jose, right? The
Hmm.
the the origin, right, or the headquarters, if you
Yes.
will. So I was like, San
Yeah.
Jose. I know there
Yes.
ain't no San Jose in the Czech Republic. I'm all like, wait a minute. So
So yeah, the business actually runs like the headquarters, if you want to say it that way. It's in Costa Rica because my staff, my like the marketing and like the admin people
mhm,
are in Costa Rica. And the teachers are everywhere in the world
mhm,
because, like I said, to teach you only need a laptop, and that's it. So my teachers are in the United States. Some of them are, one is in Mexico, one is in Canada.
wow.
So they're everywhere. Um, and yeah, so I have gotten to like connect myself with people and with teachers and hire them to work for Craving, and it has been amazing. It has been. I think also a lot of people are like, now because of COVID, people are more like willing to do things online. So
We've got
honestly, it
used
has
to it.
been, yeah, it has been. like easier because of that, because people, like, if they wanted to study something, they kind of had to do it online. So
Wow.
it has been great.
So
Yeah.
it's been a curse and a blessing for you because you found another avenue where you could still benefit off of, or not you, everybody. You know, people who want to learn a different language. So
Yeah.
congratulations. Look at you. Okay.
Thank
How
you.
does that affect your current role, right? As a teacher over there.
So now I'm like slowly transitioning to just being like the director, CEO, whatever you want to call it, of Craving, and leaving the side of leaving teaching aside, because there's so many things I have to do, so many things I have to coordinate, meetings and stuff. And I love teaching, and I don't want to stop teaching. But now I have gotten like to all the students that sign up for the program. They have a meeting with me first. So I still have that touch, or I'm still in touch with the students, because I talk to them, I talk to teachers, I lesson plan, I create ideas of how to teach better, because we're really trying to do things differently, more conversational based lessons, and very entertained, nothing so like you know like boring, or not a lot of grammar, but everything more entertained.
Yes,
So that has been our focus, and it
yes.
has gone like has been it has been fun. It has been a fun journey, honestly. I love it. I love what I do. I can't complain. I live in Europe, but I mean, I can work from anywhere, and I have a business that is going really well, and I'm so happy, honestly.
I am so happy for you. You have no
Thank you,
idea
Javi.
how much I support. You're absolutely welcome. How much I support people who want to push for their dreams. I think it's a very mature, again, let me repeat that. I think it's a very mature move for people who want to take care of expenses and bills, and they choose a job where they know that even if it's for 1 year, if it's for 5 years, where they know that it's going to take care of them. But what happens to that? They get in a net, right? And some people feel trapped. And my heart goes out to those people who feel trapped. If you don't feel trapped, good for you, right? But I'm very entertained by the idea of entrepreneurship. It keeps dancing in my head right now as we are in COVID and as we are experiencing these interesting times. The people who are chasing their dreams, it brings me a lot of gratification, So congratulations to you,
Thank you so much. Yeah, I love it. I think, I mean, like you said, like any job that brings you joy, brings you happiness, you should do it. Like, go for it.
Yeah.
But if you really have that like idea that maybe opening a business or starting a project is the way to go, like honestly, I will recommend it to anyone, because, well, at least to me, it's like such a gratifying feeling, like, because I started 8 months ago. I had, I remember the first student that she told me, okay, yes, and I was like, yeah, really, okay. I was so like, I was so happy. I was like, yay. And now to go from that to have more than 160 students around there,
Yo.
it's like, how did this happen? Like, wait a minute. And like the other day I was doing an interview, and they were asking me like, have you sat down to like enjoy the moment? I'm like, no. I keep working.
Yeah.
You have to hustle, you have to. I tell people I'm a workaholic because I work so much.
But you enjoy
So,
it. You
oh
enjoy
yeah,
it.
I love it. I love
So,
it.
and if you could turn that and tweak it, right, to it where it could benefit you, it's going to take time, which is going to lead me to my next question. And you hear this a lot, right? What are how difficult or how let's forget difficult, challenging is it to be an entrepreneur? What obstacles on top of the second question that leads on to that have you encountered from not leaving your current job but starting a new job and convincing people that your product is valuable?
I think, well, I mean, I have had like so many obstacles that it's hard to put it in just a small list. But I think most obstacles that I had is like trying to run something from the across the world, right?
Mm,
Because most of my clientele, they're located in Latin America. So I mean, sometimes honestly, I stay up until 4 in the morning sometimes, five
Wow.
in the morning. Yeah, like because 4 a.m. here, it's 7 p.m. in maybe in LA or in
Mhm.
Costa Rica. So I've had to like really, I think I've had other businesses in my life, but it's the first time that I had to really push myself to like, no matter if I'm tired, no matter if I'm hungry, no matter whatever, I have to keep going. So
Mhm.
now, of course, it has been, I think it's also a process and it's moments in the business. Now I could finally say, okay, things are set up. We have customer service department, we have marketing, I have sales, I have the teachers. But before, I was wearing all of those hats.
Wow.
Oh, before it was customer service, it was marketing. And before it was okay, I was teaching. So at the beginning, I was doing everything. So, going from that to like, okay, now I have, help. I learned also learning how to delegate. I think to me, it has been the hardest thing because I love selling. I'm very passionate of like talking to people, telling them my idea and, expressing my feelings. But selling is something that it takes a lot of time.
Mhm.
So it was the last thing that I delegated a month ago. And it has been so hard because I want to do it. I want to have the call. I want to like, no, let me take
Baby.
the call, but I can't.
Yeah. It's your
Sorry?
baby. Who better to listen to, than someone who is very passionate about it. I've done sales before. And now I know when someone's reading a fucking script and when they're really talking to me with like from the bottom of their heart, right?
Right.
Like
Yeah.
from saying this is the product and I promise you that you're going to love this product. There is
Yeah.
no other company, you know, that will max this, that will better this, that will be better than this, if you will, right?
Mhm.
And I think people fall in love with what I learned in sales, of course, right? People fall in love with the person more than a product, and that is what
True.
leads them to make the buying decision. Buying decisions, as you already know, are based off of emotion more than logic or intelligence, right? So when
That's
you
true.
deliver that, people are sold by it. So I'll be very interested to see what one of your calls sound like, to see how how
Yeah.
energetic
Well,
you get.
you speak both languages I teach, so I can't tell you anything, Javi. What do I what do I sell you? A pen?
Wolf of Wall Street,
Yeah.
right? Nah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah,
I
I mean, I love selling. It's very nice. Yeah, but I think you said something that's really like, true. People buy like because of the person, not because of the product. It's how hyped up you can get them from like about your product.
That's how hyped you are.
It's
Yeah,
true. Very
absolutely
true.
true. And I think you have more peace of mind when you know where your audience is, where your target is. I like people who are ambitious, that like to target places that haven't been touched before, but there's certain reasons why certain areas and certain people aren't asked to do something. So it's like asking a fish to climb a tree. So
It's not possible.
it's not possible. So you got to know your audience, and then from there, that's what I learned in sales. Of course, I'm gonna stop the whole script because me trae buenas y malas memorias, huh? Brings good and bad memories. So
Yeah, that's for another podcast.
that's a
We will talk about sales in another podcast.
That's what I was gonna ask you. I would love to host a workshop with you, right? But you
Let's do it.
specifically, this is about Boss Lady Adri here, right? Having a workshop as to what it is to start a company, what you need, and how happy you are with your baby. Because little by little, you have to stop letting it go, and trust that the process is gonna continue to do well. You know.
Yeah,
So
it's true. Yeah. Yeah,
you
that's
got a
actually
workshop.
that's my next project. I want to start, like maybe helping people that want to start their own businesses because I have so much to like give. I have learned so much. I've had, businesses that didn't work And I made so many mistakes that I think, I think yeah, at the end you learn from your mistakes.
What
So
mistakes have you made, if you don't mind me asking? What are some common ones that
common ones.
people
Okay,
could
so
prepare for?
not having like a niche or like a specific idea of what you want to do,
Hmm.
having too much like have a very broad audience, like thinking that, for example, if you ask me like what is your like where are your students, my target audience is people from Costa Rica first for Craving English. Of course I have students from United States as well, but my target audience is Costa Rica, because you have to pick like a niche, you have to concentrate in a place. So also knowing what to spend money on. Maybe you don't need the fancy program. Maybe you can start without it. Maybe you don't need to pay like a very fancy web designer. You can have someone help you do it. You can. So you have to learn what you are good at and what you can do, and what things you need to delegate or you need to outsource.
Hmm.
So don't outsource what you are good at. Like if you are, for example, in my case, I'm really good at selling. So that's something that I kept doing throughout the whole process, even though it was tiring. It doesn't matter because I'm really bad at accounting. So that's something I had to outsource. So
Hmm.
I think you have to like analyze what you're good at and and outsource whatever you're not good at.
And you
And
got
I
to be
think
smart about
that's
it.
really important. And yeah, yeah,
You got to
yeah.
be
But
smart about it because I grew up with like I want to do it all, and what I learned is that that's not the case all the time. That is not the case. You
yeah,
got to learn how to delegate. You nailed it right there. Delegate is a powerful word, but I don't want you to continue, Senorita, because that workshop will be very beneficial for people. All right,
okay,
so
let's do it. Yes.
so
Okay.
what besides this, what is next? I know you talked about the workshop, which is very powerful for a lot of people, but what's next? You're all over the place, Adri. So
Okay. Well, personal. I'm thinking of going back to Costa Rica for a couple of months.
okay.
I'm kind of tired of like staying up until 4 in the morning.
Uh,
Um, so I decided to move for a couple of months back to Costa Rica so I could also focus on starting this workshops, this like more like helping people that want to open business. So that's why I decided to make this move. And then later I'm going to move to Spain. That's my next stop.
wow.
Yeah. I love
Where are you
Spain.
now?
So
You're in Costa Rica right now?
no, right now I'm in Prague.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
in Czech Republic.
Okay.
I'm moving to Costa Rica probably in June, July, and then next year I will move to Spain. That is the plan, right? We never know what's gonna happen, right? But that's my next move.
A great,
Moving
great,
to Spain.
great place. Yes. Which part of Spain?
Maybe Malaga, maybe Madrid. I'm not sure about the part, but yeah, I want to also be in a Spanish speaking country that, because as we already know, Czech wasn't my cup of tea. So I don't want to complicate myself so much with the language. So I will stick to English or Spanish and I will be better.
Got
So yeah, I'm thinking even Portugal could be an option, but I'm leaning towards more Spain.
Porto, Benfica. Those are very big cities that I heard about that they told me while
Yeah.
I was in Barcelona. And it's so crazy because being out there, it's so normal to take a train or to take a plane, and people go by themselves. I almost did it. I almost went to Italy to go watch a football match, a soccer match out there. And then I was like, nah, I don't know. I'm not trying to walk into the wrong hood. Nope, nope. I'm just staying my ass here in Barcelona. But it is a story for another time. We'll definitely catch up, and hopefully you get to come out here. Or hopefully when numbers drop, we could all plan a trip with all our boys and homegirls to go over there to do
Let's
a
do
quick
it.
Euro getaway, right?
Yeah, we rent a car and we travel all over Europe.
I will walk. Walking is normal out there.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, yeah.
Walking is normal. One day,
trains, walking, buses, whatever it takes, we will do it.
it is amazing. I got used to walking. I was pissed at first when I was over there. I was like, "Where the hell is the transportation?" You know, but
Yeah,
you know how it is here in
yeah,
LA. We even
yeah,
if we're going
yeah.
2 blocks, we get in a car.
2 blocks, you go. Yeah, you always use your car. It's true. Yeah, yeah.
It,
Here,
it
walking. I don't own a car here. I don't have a car. I just walk everywhere.
what? See, look at that, and
Yeah,
that's normal, and that's great.
it's
You
completely
know,
normal. Yeah.
I'll be curious to see, and I noticed that you know the obesity rate. I didn't have a number of how many people I ran into over there, but it's rare to catch someone out of shape. People are
Oh
active
yeah.
over there in Europe. People
Yeah, that's
are
true.
active.
They're very outdoors. Like they're very outdoorsy people.
They
Yeah, they
explore.
like to be outside. Yeah.
Yes,
Hmm.
otro mundo,
Yeah.
otra dimensión,
Ex-
huh?
Otro mundo. Exactly. See.
Cool, cool.
Yes, it's
Well,
another world.
Señorita, I have 1,000 more questions to ask you, but I think this is a perfect time to save it for part two, and definitely talk more about the workshops because you know I have a lot of aspirations right now as well. So I'd be honored to sign up for one of your courses. Okay, but
You're so sweet.
yeah,
But yeah.
absolutely.
I really want to do that. Yeah, I should do it definitely. Okay.
All I wanted to say is thank you so much for stopping by. This podcast means a lot to me because I love to share people's passions, and that I hope brings light to people who are stuck in a situation. You know, so that's just buenas vibras and you know just a lot of information and experiences. So I look forward to our
Thank you.
next one, and
Yes.
we
Thank you, Javi, so much. It was so
pleasure.
nice. It's
Yeah,
a very
this is
nice
fun,
way
right?
of catching up, right? It was so
Yeah.
much fun. Yeah. This is my first podcast. So,
No way. Look
yes.
at that.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you had a
Yeah.
good time. I hope I was a
I
a
did.
good host, you know.
You were.
And
Definitely. Yes. I really enjoyed it. Yeah. I now I want to do more.
let's go. Let's keep on
Really liked
going.
it. Yeah, yeah. Let's keep on going. Exactly.
Awesome,
Yeah.
awesome. Un fuerte abrazo. Please say
You went.
well, I'm actually gonna DM her right now, but please say hi to Gabby for me if she's around. And
Okay, I
all
will.
right.
Bye. Thank you so
Take
much for
care.
everything.
Bye. Ciao.
Ciao.